So, my friends, thank you very much for joining me. You are live with me, as live as we can be here on Pastok Radio. And this is our show, Soulful Spirit Talks with Susanna Medium. I'm your host, Susanna Herchag, a medium based here in the UK, in the Midlands, where it is getting a little bit chillier and cooler and colder. Although yesterday we had quite nice Sunday with some really nice sunshine and warmer. There was that warmer atmosphere around. So thank you very much for being here. Now, if this is the very first time you are tuning in, a very, very special welcome, whether you are, wherever you are, whether you are here in the UK or elsewhere. I would love to hear from you, love to hear your thoughts and ideas and questions related to this show, my show, Soulful Spirit Talks, here on Pastok Radio, or in fact, I know you can do the same with all the other shows. And we can bring you different conversations, but then it is really created. Everything is created with you in mind. So I would love to hear from you. Where are you? Where are you based? What you do? What your life mission is? What your questions, challenges, problems? We all have a little something nugget or little nugget or bigger nugget. I should say chocolate biscuit, chocolate nuggets, whatever we want to call it. So I would like to hear from you. So if you feel brave, bold, get in touch. And even if you feel a little bit challenged by this invitation, please get in touch, because the conversations here on my show, I would really like to bring those types of conversations, chit chat, guidance, which is related to all of us. Because I always say that if I am experiencing something, then it's your experience. And if you are experiencing it, then it is somebody else's question, problem, challenge, thought, insight, question, more question, more question, So if you are drawn to getting in touch, I would love to hear from you. And then the easiest way to get in touch is by sending an email. Now, the email is very easy to remember. It is just hello@susannamedium.com. And we know this very well. Susanna spelled with 9 letters, ZSUZSANNA, medium.com, all small case letters. So that is the easiest way. But then if you would like to find the social media pages, again, you can try every social media page with Susanna Medium, okay? And it's ZSUZSANNA Medium. I'm more active on my Facebook page, Susanna Medium, and recently doing little things on TikTok, but not the dancing bit. It's more of where I work with cards or give you ideas about psychic development and so on. So get in touch, send me an email, maybe your name or I wouldn't not read out your full name here on air, but then your name and then your question, because let's just create this conversation, that you bring your ideas and we answer, we bring hopefully some message or some clarity or understanding. We share the space, we share the energy, and really the time what we live right now is just, we cannot really be without each other, because we are creating I'm not just the steps ahead, but we are creating actually every single day all together. Why? Because things are changing so very quickly. Because last week I was talking to you about November energy update, and I bet that since then, like last week, things have been changing. And yes, so the most important thing is that we are here for each other, to help each other, and to have clarity, because your question, your problem, your challenge related to your soul development, with your spiritual development, or even well-being, mental, emotional well-being, I feel that it will resonate with a lot of people, either today or they might have had that experience a couple of weeks ago or a couple of years ago, or maybe there is somebody around them in the family, in circle of family or friends or anywhere, colleagues, or our students or children's parents, or anywhere we can find people. We might find people where, they are going through the same conversations. And things are getting a little bit, I'm not saying like chillier, of course, physically feeling being chillier, but then the soul needs to, we need to hold the light. We need to be there for each other. We need to be, whatever is the case, whatever our conversation is, that we are helping another one and another one, and then the next one and the next one. And I am so very, very certain about this, having given guidance from both my Anna Frank conversation. Actually, I haven't told you much about Anna Frank, my work with Anna Frank. So from her guidance a good year ago, actually, and also the extraterrestrial beings, those wonderful energies where they were talking about that actually we are guiding each other home, we are helping each other, and we are here to have the light, keep the frequency high within ourselves, and then from that space we are helping the next person, and then the next person. Light your candle and then help another person light their candle next, and then next. And then we can also think about, we can have even just a random act of kindness, how we can there be for each other. And then yes, we make, in that very instance, we can make huge difference to the other person. And then not just the person, but then all the people around that person, their families or their environment. And we might just change the shift or the flow of energy while we are creating something. And actually, we don't need to create anything. We are just being ourselves, So that is a very, very important conversation for me. So how we got here is that actually I am inviting you, send email, bombard me with your emails, questions, because I know that you are tuning in and listening, okay? So the emails, send the emails to hello@susanamedium.com, and I'll do my best to answer to all questions. And, maybe this is what we could do. We have just one show where we are having a question, answer, like a mastermind, energy mastermind. Oh, I like that one. One of those sessions. So, or even if you want to come and talk to me live, Now, with this one, it's right now my radio shows here, my podcast here on Pastok Radio. I'm doing it as a pre-recorded show, a couple of hours before the actual show time. So it's very fresh, it's very raw. I am talking about the same day, from the same space. And so if you would like to get in touch, we can record something, and that could be quite lovely to share it here on air. So get in touch, send email to hello@susanamedium.com. And then your question, we can have the questions from all different angles and tangles of our lives. So it's physical well-being, mental, emotional, social well-being, spiritual well-being, because I cannot talk to you or cannot talk to myself or anybody about just the spiritual well-being, psychic and mediumship and messages and all those things, if you have other concerns present in our lives. And you see, while I'm saying this now, I suddenly just remembered Maslow's triangle. If you remember, there's a triangle, and then the bottom of the triangle is the physical well-being, the security, so that we have food, so that we are safe in our own bodies, safe in our own houses. So we got access to the basic needs, and we've got the freedom and the right to be ourselves. So and then on top of it, the different layers are building up. So I cannot talk to you from the top of I'm seeing the mountain, but top of the actually, I need to be by the lake with this one. I cannot talk to you from that space if you have other concerns, so share. Bring your questions, my lovely listener. Bring your question, bring your ideas. What is, how did you experience, or how are you experiencing now? The end of the year is coming, November and December. What we tend to do. It's interesting because now I'm chatting, I've got so many other ideas to talk to you about, but here we go. I'm just going with the flow. Here we go. That's lovely. So you see, Oh, what did I wanted to say? Yes, towards the end. Now we are getting to the end of the year. No, it's definitely going to be uncut. Oh, I forgot to tell you why. Because my microphone and my recording system seems to be going a little bit funny lately. So if you listen to last week's and I think 2 weeks ago, the shows, that the sound quality is not really clear. So I'm not entirely sure what is happening or what's going wrong with my beautiful, beautiful microphone. I'm just staring at it right now. It's unplugged, just in case I start recording some blurry, even more blurry sounds. So you know what I realize what I could do. I am recording with my phone. Yes, that's my phone. I tried and tested. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that while I'm talking to you 10 minutes into my show, I will be able to record as much as possible. And then you are going to hear it in a minute or two, an hour or two, or maybe a replay, or maybe a few days later, or on my podcast separately from this recording. So I am just super excited about this because when we can have a quick challenge, and especially when we would like to be here and talk and share ideas and be there, show up to spirit, show up to you, my lovely listener, that we are here. And then the technicalities don't work, but we find a way. And I felt super proud of myself about an hour ago when I realized that actually recordings can be made with my phone, with my simple phone. I've got this Samsung thing in my hand here, and I'm talking to you live there. So, and then it is working. I checked all the recordings. So I am very excited about it. About how did I get here? Yes, when we have a mission, when we have an aim, and when we are really passionate about something, oh my goodness me, and we're just going through all the brick walls or all the challenges, or sometimes we postpone, we cancel, we have excuses, we break down in tears, we chuck the thing to the side, we are grumpy, we are trying and still not working, and being upset and frustrated and let down by the whole thing and all those things. But then miraculously, I can't even say the word, miraculously, you get the idea, suddenly you get the idea that, wow, you can do something like this. And this is what happened to me using my phone. Now, I'm using my phone to record some music when I teach. I teach music, so I'm able to send music for my student and to practice and so on. So that was not really it was a golden find, but it wasn't very new. But then just realized that actually, that works. But then you see what is really important, because and then you see that is just an example that I really tried to make my microphone work. It did not work. And then just suddenly a nudge came over, and not because I started thinking about, okay, what else can I do? Because I was thinking of, oh, I need to order another microphone. I need to look into my laptop, maybe something. So I need to ask for these people to help me to figure it out. It's all technicalities. It's all complex. It's all this and that. And then suddenly, while I was busy with the thinking, my thinking mind was busy with the thinking, then suddenly, from above, from my right side behind my back, about a feet above my head, from that space an idea came, record with your phone. So here we go. We tried it. It worked different, well, just the same how it works with my music education a bit, and then it's working. So when there is that intention, so this is what I want to really bring out of this conversation, that when there is that intention, you will get the guidance, my friend. You will be shown the way to go. You will be not left. You are not going to be left behind. If you need to get somewhere, if you need to do something, when you are relaxing in that, oh, I can't do it, doesn't work, I don't know what's happened. When we are relaxing in that situation or from that situation, then the energy flows. The energy flows. It's always flowing, and we are part of it. We are just making ourselves so tight because we want to have things working in a way how we want them to work. So just experiment with your own reality, Share your stories. Tell me what your stories are, what you have overcome, Does it make sense what you have overcome? Yes, it does. Yes. Your stories. Tell me, when was the time when you really tried to do something and things did not work, but then you just took a breath, maybe made a cup of tea for yourself, or I don't know, biscuit or a chocolate or something, and then suddenly the idea, as you relaxed in that reality, suddenly the idea came, and voila, things were flowing and going smoothly afterwards. So I would love to hear about these kind of success stories, you know. So it's not necessarily the big things of winning a lottery, although if that happened to you, let me know how you did it, because I think a lot of our listeners and even myself would love to hear from you, you know, what's your story about that. Mind you, actually, that could be quite an interesting conversation, interesting podcast, how I won. But here we go. I won this afternoon by figuring out that I can use another device to talk, because the intention was there to be here and to speak. But then, you know, what is your story? Tell me your story. Tell me your story. What was your winning story? What was the incident? And you felt really tight and pressured and under a lot of pressure. You did not have time or resources or panic or anything. And then suddenly the light, the breeze, the light, clarity came over you like a gentle breeze, surrounding your body and making you feel content and comfortable, and your heart space beautifully lit up. And suddenly the clarity came and all your concerns were dissolved, because you had an idea, and then it was just so sharply, beautifully, gently there that you knew that you meant to receive that. And in that very moment, you knew that maybe that's why we needed to be tense a little bit, so that we know what the other end of the coin is, so that we are relaxing into a situation. And then from that space, we are flowing. Then suddenly we notice that the energy is flowing around us. We are part of that energy. We are always there. We have never gone anywhere. We have been going, flowing. I want to say flowing and growing. Flowing and growing with that energy, and we are part of it. We are not going anywhere, and the energy is not going anywhere. So here we go. We are part of it. It just takes a little breathe space, you know, breath. And then, you know, before that, we need to have tension, so that we know what the other end of the stick is. So let me know what your story is, what you have overcome, what was your tension, what was a tense situation in your life, what happened, did you do something, did you do just spontaneously something happened, or you did something, and then immediately next moment you were breathing and the energy was totally different. And then in that beautiful space, then clarity came over, washed you over, wrapped you around, and gave you that clarity and that beauty and calm and peace moment. So from that moment in life, you were able to proceed, you were able to continue breathing in a different way, you know. So I am absolutely passionate. I'm just beyond belief passionate about hearing stories, you know, because hearing and sharing stories, because we've got all the gloom and bloom, and here in the UK it's grey and it's rainy, and especially if you live maybe not in the sunnier corners or parts of this beautiful land and country, then you have more rain and more greyness and more, you know, and you are just trying to look for the sun, or at least looking for the silver lining in the clouds, any of those. So, and then of course it's getting darker earlier, and you know, early in the morning it's dark, in the evening it's dark, and it's getting cold, and you go to the shop and you don't find your favorite thing because it's not there, because suddenly we don't have this and that in the shops. But so we can have all those conversations. In fact, we have these conversations, and that's the reality right now, you know, as I speak to you, November 2022, reality, big time, you know, big time. But then, since this is a different show, Soulful Spirit Talks with Susanna Medium, this is a different show, different podcast, different conversation. So we are keeping our focus on the silver lining of the cloud. And then even if it's not there right in front of us, above us, on the sky, in the sky, above us, out there, then we know it is there. And then while we are waiting for it, we can, while we are waiting for it to appear, we can immediately feel it in our own heart. We can immediately, right now, right here, work with this energy, and it's there. It just really depends, where we put the attention, the focus, having the willingness. I feel that is a big keyword here. Have the willingness of what you want to be. Have the willingness to be. Have the willingness to be yourself. Have the willingness to be vulnerable. That's a big conversation. Oh my goodness me, that's everything is so tight around us. And yes, we can talk about what else is tight in our lives, but then vulnerable, what it feels like when we are vulnerable. We are trying to, go through the days and survive certain situations. And as we are going deeper into this winter season, we might have even more stronger, those conversations, the very human, very raw conversation. How will I survive? How is my family going to do? How I'm going to manage all the things, my house, my car, my work, my pension, it's not my pension because I don't have that, I'm not that age, but I'm just giving you the examples here that how I am going to manage all those things. And why we are going into the deeper inner side, inside of this forest of unknown territory as we are moving forward. But then what we are still present to is that actually we've got our mind. Since we are asking the questions, we've got our mind. So with the mind, if you have one type of questions, then why don't we have the other type of questions, So catch your questions, bring it to me, send an email to hello@susanamedium.com, ZSUZSANNA medium.com. Ask your questions. Give me things to talk about. We can talk about many things, but then we are creating this conversation for you. So let me know what your recent winning stories or what your recent maybe breakdown story. We cannot be always in the winning mood. We cannot be always, you cannot go all stand on the top of the mountain when there is one space or 3 spaces or 5 spaces, or when we take turns, and that is the fluctuation, the movement of the energy. The energy needs to be in flowing motion. It cannot stop. So sometimes it is your winning story when it is my breakdown story. And when it is my winning story, that is your breakdown story. We take turns, guys. That is what we are doing here in our earthy reality. We are taking turns. Isn't it just really exciting? No, it's a good point. You see, while I'm talking to you, I'm just remembering I had so many other things to talk to you about and plan for this particular show. But here we go. We are going where the energy is taking us. So you see, while I was talking about you are a winner and I am sitting with my own story, or I am the winner, you are sitting with your own story. So we are taking turns to experience the flow of energy in one way or another. Whether it is flowing or it is constipated, and flowing and it is constipated. I quite usually use this word constipated energy when I want to describe somebody's energy in a reading, for instance. So mind you, let's talk about readings. Okay, let's talk about readings. What it means when we are constipated with the energy or when we are flowing with the energy. Do we want to stay in the constipated energy state or we want to flow with the energy? And then even when we are entertaining the idea of we want to flow with the energy, we might still be constipated with the energy because our ego is holding us there in that state. My goodness me, not a good thought to entertain, especially before Christmas time. So here we go. That's another big topic. So yes, fascinating. So my lovely friends, let's just pause here. Let's think about what kind of energies we are experiencing. Are we going with the flow or we are holding back tight? We are trying to figure out, we're trying to fix, we are trying to survive, and we are just so much in our minds that we are not even able to breathe properly, let alone flow with the energy and flow and grow with the energy. So let's just pause here for a second. We are going to have a little music, little advertisement here, okay? And I'll come back and I'm going to talk to you about actually what is happening in a mediumship reading or psychic reading, okay? We'll talk about the psychic reading, what happens with the energy, what do we do with energy, what energy you bring to that reading session and what energy I bring to the session on. And then of course the universal energies are always there. And then what is funny, because I wanted to talk to you about cards and oracle cards and all various things, but here we go, we will have time for everything. So stay tuned in, make a good cup of tea for yourself, have a little walk around, a couple of minutes, actually just a minute really, and then we will be back and we will take it from there where the energy flows. Okay, so here we go. Stay tuned in for a second.